Okay. All right. We are live on YouTube right now, guys. Can you see us? Hi, everyone. Can you guys see me?
Yes, we can. Good
Oh,
morning, DJ Finest.
good
Yeah, we
morning,
see you guys.
everyone. It's so great to see you all. Welcome. Welcome to Pepper Chair. Today is the first edition of Pepper Chair right here on YouTube. This is also going to be shared on Facebook and also going to be on other live streams. So, welcome everyone. Tune in, get something to drink, and tune in because we're about to give you Mm, some juicy topics that are trending right now all over the place. My name is DJ Finest, and I am joining you live from Beaverton, Oregon. Thank you guys for joining Pepper Chair and stay tuned. I can't wait for you to see what we bring in today.
Yes, my name is the Plucker Isaac. I'm the Plucker Isaac, currently co-host for Pepper Chair. I'm currently in West Africa, Liberia. Yeah, this show gonna be interesting. Hope you are ready to comment your questions about what we'll be discussing.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Lizzie International. I am here with DJ Finest, Isaac, and JU. You guys, we are ready to let you guys know international and Liberia news, all over the world news. So get ready for Pepper Chair.
Yes. So we are
Hi,
excited.
everyone. My name is Jutomu Escoli, and I'm live from Liberia, West Africa. And I'm here with the crew, Pepper Chair Special Studio. And it will be actually a fine conversation. Hope you invite someone to listen with you.
Yeah. That's a very good advice. Invite someone to listen with you. I love it. So guys, today we have our first topic. Let's just dive into it. All right. This is an hour show, and we don't want to keep you waiting. We just want to dive into the topic. So our first topic today um is about somebody called Stanton Witherspoon. All right. If you don't know anything about Stanton Witherspoon, let me just tell you a little bit about this man. Stanton Witherspoon is a businessman here based in the United States, and he's also a businessman in Liberia, a country that I'm from, and I care so much about Liberia. We speak against criminals in Liberia, and we also just speak against leaders that are not doing the right thing. So Stanton Witherspoon owns one of the biggest networks in Liberia. All right, this is called Spoon TV, one of the biggest network. He has hired so many Liberians, both young Liberians, both Liberians of age. Stanton Witherspoon even owns a gas station in Liberia, something that I find very, 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 very necessary for our country because he's bringing jobs. He's been doing well. I mean, this is a man with a network. This is a man with a gas station. This is a man who is empowering our country. So, guys, guess what? Though it all started about last week. I would say like 5 days or maybe almost a week plus now. Got up in the morning and we watched the blogs going crazy everywhere. The news, the blogs. This guy even made it to CNN. So this is a big deal. Stanton Witherspoon, along with others, have been charged with fraud because Stanton is somebody who is right now involved in giving fake nursing license to supposedly nursing students. So this man could be going down for 20 years if found guilty of all of his, I believe, 23 or 26 charges. Many of them include money embezzlement. We're talking about money laundering. We're talking about, giving fake degrees out there. So he has so many charges on him. Fighting. He even got charges of fighting at his job for a woman. This is a guy we respected. I don't know. So for me, I see Liberians trying to feel sorry for him. America is not feeling sorry for him because in America, when criminals do wrong, they are sentenced. or they will be charged. And this is taken very seriously. So I want to bring this up since, most of the time we talk about our country. We want to know what's going on in Liberia. What do you guys think about Liberians feeling sorry for this man? Like, you know what? Let's give him another chance. He made a mistake. You start putting him down. All kinds of things Liberians are saying to Liberians that are trying to speak up and speak against his actions. So, what do you guys think? I mean, should we forgive him? Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe, he was full. I mean, should we forgive him, or should we really understand that this man needs to go to jail? What do you guys think?
So I will go first, and I definitely think that he should be penalized for his crime actions. What he did that is a crime, and if you were to do that in America, you'd instantly most likely be put in prison. And I don't
guess what, sis? Guess what? He actually did it here. So right now he's actually facing almost 20 years, and many of his properties have been taken from him in the United States.
Absolutely. So he deserves what his penalty will be. Like, there's definitely going to be actions taken, I believe, and I pray that he does get penalized for doing a false accusation of doing that. That's not okay.
That's how I feel too. I mean, when you really think about it, I'm sorry, guys. When you really think about it, this man is playing with lives, because nursing degree, this, you are working with human being. How can you do that, right? All right.
Yeah, let me just speak to that. Like Lizzie said, I mean, no reason should justify buying sentiment to someone who committed crimes against humanity. A quarter crime against humanity, he was in fraud. I mean, giving fake degree, offering fake lessons to people who are non-medical practitioners, you are causing more harm than good. But here's the case with Liberia. The reason why you see people buying all this kind of sentiments, some people wishing him prayers, this, that, is that as a country, Liberia, we are used to the impunity syndrome, where people just commit heinous crime and go scot-free. So we always see people who will hide behind the dress of, let me just say, giving, philanthropy, but mind you, these are very dark. So we consider Stanton to be one, like you said, he owned there's a Spoon group of companies that operate Fabric FM, Spoon FM, Super FM, and a lot more. And Liberia, like I said, is a place of sentiment where people will just, buy into something without looking at the legal standings. But I think he deserves to face the full weight of the law. And I've been following the issue, and I think that was litigation. Let him face trial.
But JU, let's see into this. Like, he was selling fake degrees to these people, these students in the institution. Why these students didn't know that it is a fake degree? While they was going about it, they didn't know about it that is a fake degree, or they accept it through the institution, or why before the F.
Thank you. That's a very nice question. I think I can speak to that. So here's the fact we need to establish.
So
Get this clear, Isaac.
All right.
There is a whole team of fraudsters. There is a whole team of, let me just say, fraud. About 7,500 fake degrees were sold at the price of 15,000 USD each, according to the US indictment report. You see that? So that's just an express evidence that many people was being duped under this scheme. And mind you, no reason justify crime, but as you won't ask me why someone went to buy a fake degree. The person had interest in it and they want to use it to hide behind it for hustle. Some of them act as medical practitioners in the US and other places, and they get paid for what they don't deserve, what they didn't go to school for. They call themselves practical nurses. And these are people that cause more chaos in our health system, not just America, but even here too. And it's very easy to imagine that those practitioners are even destroy more lives or over there. So that's the issue we are talking about, as it.
DJ Finest, I think you are on mute.
Yes. I totally get what you're saying, Jitumo. The thing here is, for me, I just feel like our country, we're so used to people really going against the law. No law and order many times. So our young people, they grow up to see these criminals as leaders. Like we're talking about Stanton Witherspoon. This is a man that has helped many Liberians. He's even helped few Liberians to get their journalists, education. So he's opened doors for many people. So automatically they are looking at him like he's a role model, that he's like a God sent, you know. And I'm someone who always speaks against, why don't we do background checks in Liberia? Why are we so comfortable with people traveling, coming from abroad, going to Liberia, applying for good positions, or just doing things in our country without knowing exactly their credentials, or their background? I don't know. I just feel like the country needs to be more focused on law and order, and the country needs to be more focused on the representation of Liberia, especially the leaderships. Like, how are we presenting ourselves to the youth to understand that government should work this way? This is how the government should work. So I feel like we don't have too many good examples out there. And same thing just went there and he fit in, he felt comfortable. So we got to change a lot of things. We have to change a lot of things. And definitely one of them, I would say, no law and order. And therefore, the young people are growing up to accept criminals, because those are the people they are forced to look up to, and it's pretty sad that way. All right.
DJ Finance, you are right. You are very, very right. And in recent past, there is a credential audit report from right here in Liberia, from one of our counties, Lofa County. There's a school there called the Lofa Community College. Formerly the Lofa Community College, was now Lofa University. DJ Finance, the degree audit report states that about 30% of the school faculty have fake credentials. And now some of them have been forced to resign. Some of the guys come to America, they go to China and other places. They just do a kind of postgraduate, diploma, and when they return back, they come with degrees like doctorate, and because of their accent, the way they speak, everything about Liberia. Once a appear foreign, I mean, there is no background check. That's what DJ Fana said. So of reason, there is one activist called Martin Collins. He has launched a serious campaign called the Campaigners Against Academic Crime, or the Campaigners for Academic Crime Code. So they are working on a serious day. Sometimes they try to find lawsuits against people, even people in our legislature, in the House of Senate.
Yes.
Some of them have been alleged of having fake credentials, and they are yet to report. And some of their schools that they even claim that they graduated from have even replied, and in the mail have been published that they have no record on them as students admitted to student program. So you see, these things are embarrassing, and we still have those people serving us. And people praising them, people call them their political godfathers, people call them names. I mean, these are people that people are learning from. I mean, it's just something so sad that I just don't know.
I mean, like you say, it's sad, because right now I see Liberians feeling so sorry for him. Like, oh, Liberian people let us pour Liberian people name. But we're not supporting him. This is something he did, And when we start holding people accountable, is what I feel like we need to teach our young Liberians how we should hold our leaders accountable. If our leaders are doing the wrong thing, don't laugh with them. Don't just take a bag of rice and then say, okay, go ahead. The effects are still there. You're still struggling, so we need to raise the awareness. So for me, when I see Liberians feeling sorry for a man like Stanton, and in America, no, they're trying to crack down on this guy. I watched the news not too long ago, they were talking about the fact that nurses they are mad. The nursing what you call it, agency in the United States, they are mad because this is America. How can that happen? You know.
I know
So for
that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I know in America, I previously went to med school, and if you were to go and accept a license from somebody else, that's highly illegal. That is not acceptable because to me as a medical assistant, that's not even as hard as an RN. That's a registered nurse. That takes a lot of schooling and it's hard work. So
Yeah.
I will vouch for those nurses that do their time, put their hours in, and legit do what they're supposed to, because that's not easy. That is insanely hard. And guess what? They deserve that certificate and business license to be able to say, hey, you know what? I am a registered nurse. And guess what? I did my time. Here's my license. Instead of being like,
Yeah.
hey, can you give me this license for $1,500? Like that's a criminal act. That should never happen, ever.
And they were actually selling it as far as $15,000. Like that's how much money, you know. I mean, these guys made lots of money off doing this. And like for me, I'm just thinking of it like now we have to be second guessing nurses. When a nursing now, you know, like the good ones that worked hard for their degrees. Now you got, oh, did you get it from Stanton with the school? You know, the Stanton degree. So I feel like this is so. Yes, this is so sad. So right now, my thing is nursing is all about giving back to your community. Nursing is all about caring for another human being. How can you accept a degree that you know nothing of? How are you going to treat those people? Can you imagine the malpractices that it just so sad that people will do whatever it takes to make some money. It's just like, wow, you are endangering someone else's life. So I mean, for me, that's what I will have to say about this is that we need to stop promoting criminals. You know, we need to stop supporting and making excuses for them and start holding our people accountable for the wrongs that they do, because that's the only way the young Liberians will know the truth. They will know the right way. You know, they will only know the right way if the people there today are showing them the right way. You know, but many of our Liberians, even if they want to know the right way, nobody is there to show them. So they are stuck with more bad examples of leaderships than the good ones. You know,
And
and
that's
that's the
one
thing
thing that I also agree on is that people need to understand, and in America, I agree with this too, that people worldwide, internationally need to understand that, guess what? This young generation that you guys are giving things to just free and whatever, like, hey, here's a license. Like, that's our next generation. You're showing them that it is okay to be a criminal. That is not okay. Let's show the kids how to work for a degree, work for money, work for things instead of just, nah, here you go. That, no, you have to train and mold somebody to know right from wrong. If I tell you don't go touch that stove, it's hot. That means don't go touch it. You're going to get injured.
sometimes the kids want to learn for themselves. It's like, okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah, I think it is time that we keep embracing conversation around around this. It's actually good that we keep embracing conversation around this, holding people accountable for what they do.
yes.
That's a very good recommendation. Yeah.
All right. I like that. So that's it for me. That's
So
pretty much
for me,
what I'm doing here.
yeah, and I think it was worthy of our discussion. It was actually good, and the recommendation aspect is what I really pick up going forward. Let's learn to hold people accountable for what they do, and let's learn to set precedents too, like you said. I mean, Let us not just let people go commit crime, go with impunity. That's not something very good. So in recent past, we have all noticed something strange about Liberia. When I say strange, in terms of the increase now, all countries have a ghetto class. Even in the America, I mean, we still have people who in the street. But for Liberia as a developing country, especially having 60% of our population being young people or youth, and then among this 60% of young people, 2/3 of that number is going wild on a daily. In our local colloquial, we call it zogos, we call them zoguis. That's the name we give a male and a female. It continues to increase on a daily. Crimes against humanity, most especially from young people, is on the increase. I guess many of you have noticed in our local dailies, you listen to news every day, you hear that this person killed this young man killed this other man, this young man stole this person back, he told this person to carry him from this location to another location, and at a certain time, he knocked him on his head, took his bag away. What is the cause of this problem, especially growing on a daily? And what are we doing as a country to address them? And there are possibilities that if this just continue, we are going to have more problems than solutions. Because we always say the young people are the future of Liberia. So if the future of the country cannot sustain the country, cannot protect the fabric of that country, then I think that country has no hope. So it is now time that we start to, work around young people, not just for them to commit crimes, send them to prison. Rehabilitation should be something we should work around too. Our justice system, we just have overcrowded prison. And at certain time, we free pre-trial detainees, bring them back to the community with the same mindset, nothing changed, and then they commit more crime. So I think it is now time that we need to start working on our young people to reduce some of those high crime rate. And I want to hear from you too. I don't know how you really see it.
So J2, I just want to know, do you think that it's drugs? Do you think it is like anger? What do you think is making the Zogos and Zogis act this way? Because I'm not there and I don't personally see it. I see online,
Yeah,
but what do
that's
you think that's making it like this?
Yeah, that's a very fine question. That's a very good one. So drugs is one issue. And another issue here is about mental health, or I call it low self-esteem. When you live into a country where livelihood is zero, ways of earning living is zero, unemployment is very high, definitely crime becomes the order of the day. Someone can bear with me to say that poverty has no moral. People say that for sure. If you put a man in a house for 10 days without food, you bring it out and you see a kid holding bread, he would definitely take it from them. And drugs have been another issue. Our drugs law was actually a bailable drugs law, meaning you catch someone with drugs today, take them to police station. We don't have any law to prosecute people like that. It was just a recent pass because of Senate, voted hopefully that we should have a drugs law, and it's yet to be signed in by the president to be printed into handbill. And even those who call the Drugs Enforcement Agency, they have a challenge right now. We see them complain of logistics, we see them complain of operational materials, and a lot more. And more besides, we are just seeing more security, people who are there to arrest. But in our Drugs Enforcement Agency, we are not seeing therapists. We are not seeing counselors. And we are not seeing people who are there to train, those who will be arrested for drugs, more especially those who take it in. I'm not talking about those who I'm talking about the consumers, not the transporters. These are people that need to bear even more weight, those who share them. I'm talking about someone who taking it possible that acting under certain pressure like poverty and a lot more that said about the low self-esteem, someone will dive into it. And there's also a likelihood that they can be changed. But nothing is being done that way. You only see someone in uniform chasing another man from the street today, the next day, carrying him to prison. After 2 days, bring him back to the community, and you still see him going that way. But there's nothing strong that have been done about rehabilitation. So drugs, low self-esteem, high unemployment, and the lot more are some of those strong and key reasons responsible for the increase in crimes you have been talking about.
So when I think about all that, and I've always asked people, what can you guys that live there do to make a change with that? Because it comes down to, guess what? You have to make the change to be able to change it. And what is everybody willing to do to make that change?
Yeah. And that's the question, you know. It's like so everybody know the problem. People talk about the problem. Oh, this is the problem. This is the problem. And you hear that a lot. Liberians are highly aware of the issues that they are facing, you know. Now, the question here, as you ask, we know the problem. What are we doing now to make sure that this problem can be resolved? But the only way that can usually happen, if you have a proactive government, you know, if you have leaders that actually know what they are doing, leaders that are effective, leaders that understand the problems that the people are facing, you know, and many of our leaders, going back to the fake education, as we were saying, fake degrees and all of this stuff, most of these guys, you know, they go into these law-making positions knowing fully well they have no ounce of knowledge, you know, professional knowledge on that position. But then again, no background check, so we give it to them. So we have a system that has enabled, you know, and it is enabled poverty. It is kind of like tied the hands of the young dreamers, people that want to dream. How can you dream when all you see is just people that been dreaming but nothing coming out of it, you know? So Liberians, I feel like not only the leaders, but the Liberian people themselves, you know, need to wake up at some point and understand that we are the ones being infected by these problems. You know, at the end of the day, we are the Zogos. We are the ones that need to bring a better, what you call a healthcare system. You know, like what he did was say, counseling. You know, therapy, housing. They don't even have. I mean, how can you get rid of a lot of young people, right? How can you help, not get rid of, I mean, help a lot of young people when you don't even know what to establish to help them? We don't have housing projects. How are we going to get them off the streets? Where are they going? You know, and I learned that the government did establish some houses, you know, over the last, 5 years, going on 6 years. But what are the effects? Like, I'm not seeing the Zogos off the streets. So were the houses for the Zogos? Was it for the homeless people? Who living there? You know, so for me, Liberians, it's like the Liberian people need to be more concerned. Just be concerned about your future and say to yourself, I'm tired giving my vote for rice. I'm tired giving my vote for a quick little change. Let me stand up for my children because these are the people that I'm working for, you know, and things will change because these leaders will be forced to do the right thing, but nobody forcing them, you know, nobody holding them accountable. So they will continue to do the wrong thing. And as Jitumu said, no housing project, no jobs, no counseling, no good equipment. We need help. We need to raise awareness. Our Liberians need to understand that you have the power, you know, to bring the change that you are looking for, and not the people that are not bringing the change. You can keep looking up to them. You need to bring the change. So it's just an awareness we got to keep raising to the young generation that you can speak out. You know, if your leaders are not doing well, you don't have to cuss, you don't have to be aggressive, but you can speak out. You can create your team. You can speak out. You can protest peacefully. You know, there are things you can do. Don't keep quiet and just suffer. It's so sad.
And Jaytun, can you also interpret to people that don't know what a Zogo and Zogi is?
Yes.
Because there are people that don't know what it is.
Right.
And I had to learn personally myself what it was.
Exactly. Thanks for that. Zogo is a term we use. I once thought it was only Liberia, but it's Africa. A lot of African countries
Oh yeah,
call
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I noticed that it's not only Liberia, a lot of African countries. So Zogo, pretty much, this is how I see Zogos. Zogos, the bad leadership we have in Africa. When these African leaders don't do their jobs, and they leave the youth with nothing to do. They leave the youth with no resource, and then they sit down there and say, "Oh, look at those guys. They don't have any good plans for their lives. They're just in the street." But mind you, you brought war that killed many of their families. You brought war that destroyed the country that they were supposed to grow in and be like every other kid in the world. But you're not thinking about that. You're calling them zongos because all of a sudden they say, "Oh, they don't know what they are doing. They're confused. They're on drugs." Who bringing the drugs? How can poor people like those people, who giving them drugs? Where are they getting it from? Where are they purchasing? Where is the money coming from? So I feel like we need to stop calling them Zogos, and we need to let the Liberian government understand that you abandon us. We're not Zogos. We are Abandees. Maybe that's the name we need to. You're abandoning them. You're neglected the youth.
Yeah, fact.
Yes, you're abandoning.
That's
I
true.
mean, honestly, I listened to Charles Taylor, the former warlord that's formerly in jail right now. Charles Taylor said one of his biggest regrets is that he failed the youth of Liberia because he wanted to help the youth of Liberia. It's like, of course, you guys failed the youth of Liberia, and you're still failing the youth. And that's why I applaud someone like you, Jitumu and Isaac. Like you guys are such great example because you talk to so many young Liberians, and they seem like they are lost. They're lost. And the people that they are looking up to, those people are not looking in their best interest. Those people are looking after their own children, their girlfriends, they don't care. So I'm trying to figure out at what point
Yeah,
can the problem be resolved.
like they are
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you already spoke to it. It's like it's like they are looking through broken mirrors. I mean, you look through people who are in reflection of the problem, then you look to them for solution. Like you said, it is a two-way street. I want to be very, very sincere. You made a very good case. Your argument was precise. So there is a part that has to do with the government, that is governance. Government has certain part to handle, and there's a part that has to do with the citizen, like you said. That we're being a post-war country, DJ Finance, we still have ex-generals that live in our space. I live in a community where I saw an old lady more often. When one man passed by who just worked for a private security firm, when he passed by, we'll always see the lady crying. So people will be concerned and say, but why often when you see this man passing, he will be crying, and we can always see him walking faster to pass. So one time she said it was this guy who intentionally brutalized my brother, who was the only educated man in our family. He was a nurse, he was the only hope of the family, and now that's one reason why we are like this. And as soon as I see him passing, but I have nothing to do because he still have hangover.
Exactly.
He's still working for security of. So we still have this child soldiers. They still live here, and that's one problem about Liberia. You just vulnerable youth just to election. No, you don't rehabilitate people in sudden flight. You don't do that. It is not something that you just do just right away. It's a process. So you will see them. They will take 5 person, carry them to a kind of room. I mean, they are not even bringing people who have the expertise to do the job. But because they want to score political gains, they will say, oh, yes, I want to rehabilitate so and so person. And within short time, you will see people giving testimony. I mean, and that's just a more for pay. You hear one young man saying, I was in the street, but now I'm out. But after 2 years, you see them back again. Because the truth is, after rehabilitation, what next? He's a new man, we agree. But what new have been added to him going forward that will redefine the man in him? That's something you don't see. And for the side of the community, you are actually right. We should now be our own police. Intentionally, it starts come out in the name of, oh, I don't want someone to creating with the wrong, to let them know what to do and what not to do. Because in Liberia, peer pressure is one reason for young people diving into crimes. I want to be part of this league. I want to fit in with these people. Oh, I want to be part of the bigger boys on campus. Oh, my man, then you have to taste this. You have to do this. And with that kind of weaker, capacity, not willing to adapt to it sharply, and then you see sometimes maybe I start to reduce, I start to look different, and then my family tell me, we can't keep you anymore. You have now started stealing materials from here to support your bad habit, so you need to go out. Then they give them a different name. So the community have their role to play, and I have just been challenged more from the conversation that we need to raise more awareness. It's about awareness in the schools, awareness in the communities, awareness to our friends. A one-on-one approach and a do no harm approach. I like what you said. We are not going to call them Zogo anymore. Don't call them Zogo. Don't call them Zogo. Because if we keep calling them Zogo, we consider them to be already like a different class. And going forward, I don't think that they will give us ear. It is now time that we open our arms to them as accept them and create space. That play we don't want politicians to give us rights, but these are pressing needs that the community want. These are societal problems that need to be addressed. We need a safe community, and for the community to be safe, you need to get rid of this gang group that park here. You need to get rid of this ghetto right next by, because someone coming home by 9 to 10 will not pass safely. That girl will be gang raped. That lady will be harassed, and that young boy passing through will be shot. So to put all stop to that, it is now time that we engage our community. So I really like your kind of approach, and I always applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Lizzie, any thought?
I just wanted to get clear on what a Zogo is, because I personally know, but not everybody else does. And I'm glad that we shouldn't be calling them Zogos. They are just, to me, it's an adolescent, youth, or adult that needs some correction in the right way and right pathway of life, because some of us can get distracted and get pulled into those groups that's not what should happen. It shouldn't, and it's sad. And I think as a community, everybody should come together and try and assist and help them with their situation. But I know at sometimes those people that are in that situation, sometimes they don't want help. And one thing that I have learned throughout my lifetime is that you can't change somebody unless they want to change themselves. So it really comes all down to it is Johnny ready to change? Is Sally ready to change? If they're not going to do it.
And that's the truth.
Fact. That's fact. But sometimes too, we got to create conditions that will make them to accept. Like I said, let's say this may have been very bad for some time. But Lizzie taking him to a new space, teaching him something different. Let's say now he's a tailor now, and he's so close. Let's say he made 1,000 plus or a day. The possibility of sleeping in the street will no longer be an option. He feel like now he's a good human. Sometimes I tell people and then they laugh. One of the self-confidence that I've seen in life is money, getting the purchasing power to do what you want. I've seen, let me just get this clear, that I have been knowing some people who have been on drugs from a childhood days them now. I've never seen them go on savage. I'm not saying there are people that we should imitate, but the whole truth is they have been having the money to sustain it, and true, there have always been a balance between their life and they have been that way. On the other hand, I like how you said it, Lizzie, we need to work towards it because it's every one of us business. Anyone can fall prey to that. We have seen musicians in our cycle, I don't want to call name, who are very good. They were flying Hyundai and bigger cars around here, but just because of depression, mental health, and other issues, if you follow blogs in Liberia now, you will see them posting his or her photo, prayer for him, please pray for him, he's going savage, he will phone this way. So it is just an express evidence that anyone can fall into that trap, especially in your country that face many growing problems like unemployment, depression. People are going through a lot on a daily. People are fighting their own demons, and sometimes they won't speak it out, because we live in a space where people quit to be stereotyped. Like I said, You tell someone there's other problem today, you will see it to be the next news. So another person play. Just what the founder was saying. We know the problem, but the solutions are very scarce. Only few people are willing to take real steps to get the work done. So
Yeah.
kudos.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good start. You know, I noticed that at least we are starting the conversation, because eventually the young, like the middle school, the high school kids, the elementary, they will start to see, because they are going in a different era, you know. So they will start to understand a lot better that we have to get good leaders for our lives to be what we want it to be, you know, because these leaders are the ones, especially the lawmakers. These guys are controlling us. They are the ones telling us what we can do, what we cannot do, how to spend money, where to put the money. So what can you do as a youth that the country has left you with nothing much, no option? Something you say I really love, Jitubu. Human being, we love to have choices. I want to have an option. I don't want to feel like, so if you have money, you can balance your situation. But these guys don't have money. So like somebody making it to do certain things to give them money, or they gotta go and steal. So in a way, the country, the government abandoned the young people, and then they call them Zogos. So I think we need to stop calling them Zogos and just figure out, bring more rehab. I actually listened to some of the abandoned youth in Liberia. I heard them saying to the government, we want rehab. They're the one asking for rehab because they're tired being neglected. Because they know that, you know, they're supposed to help us at least. Like, come on. So who is there to help them is where we are now. Who is there to help them? So we just need proactive leaders with passion, that know what they are doing and are willing to spend the money and get the job done, you know? I think that's where it is.
I agree with that.
Pretty sad. Yeah. Well, great. I love the topic.
Jutun?
All right.
All right. So I will bring up my topic. My topic is about a 41-year-old man, Mr. Cooper Siwa, that decided to unfortunately get in a situation with his fiance. He falsely accused her of sleeping with another man and decided to pour acid on her genital area, and it hurt her very, very bad. That is domestic violence. I personally do not agree with domestic violence. I don't agree with any sort of violence. This man is from Nimba County. He is a second I'm probably not even going to be able to say this word right, so excuse me, but a second perpetrator. He is in police custody as we speak right now. His fiance is in custody in the hospital getting treated. Mr. Siwa, this is a second offense. Like, why as a human being do you keep doing these offenses and getting away with it? Enough is enough. The violence has to stop. And it's not just Mr. Siwa that's doing it. It's multiple people. This is just a story that I chose, and I want to bring awareness to it, and it's got to stop. Like, who in their right mind goes and throws acid on somebody that they're in a relationship with, that they love, and now you hurt them? I know me as a married woman, I would never want to hurt my spouse. Like, that would never even come through my mind. So I think as any human being, boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, married, or just a guy and a friend, don't hurt each other. Love each other. And if there's a situation that you're not bonding together, talk about it. Don't ever take it to that next step of hurting one another, because a crime is a crime. And this is definitely a crime that should have never happened.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on this one, you know. Can you imagine? It's like the level of possessiveness, you know, it's like you feel like you own this woman or something, right? Like I own you. So therefore, if I can have you, you losing your vagina. Who does that?
Yeah. I know if as a woman, the two things that make us a woman are our breasts and our vaginas. Guess what? No man has that. No, a man
No.
has a chest. A man does have a chest, but a man does not have a vagina. A man has a penis. And what if she would have done that to him? What would have he done?
Oof.
I know
Man,
it would
I
be
mean,
a
I can't
very
even
terrible
imagine.
situation.
And so for me, this is what we're talking about again: holding people accountable and having a country that no law and order, because these things occur all the time. This is not the first time. When is it going to stop? When will we build enough prisons that we can even put these guys in there for them to stay there? When can we emphasize on the law to make sure that they will have some level of fear that they will not do it? I feel like, for example, in America, if I'm driving fast, I can drive fast all I want, but if the police catch me, I will get fined. I will get ticket. So it's either I want to spend money I don't have and keep paying ticket, or I'm going to drive better. So I feel like they make you do the right thing by putting in certain rules and certain regulations, for you to be protected and also to protect other people. But we don't have that back there.
And that's where it comes to. That's what I want to know is why isn't any law officials taking individuals like Mr. Siwa into custody, which he is in police custody, but why aren't, this is his second time. What in the world? If you do it once in America, guess what? You're in trouble, major trouble. So why does it keep happening? And there's multiple men and women doing this. That I'm not just blaming men, I'm blaming women also, because in life, we should not be touching one another ever in a harmful way. And this is a very dangerous, harmful way. It could have killed her. And
oh, yes.
Acid, when I think of acid, I think of cleaning with acid, taking bacteria and nasty stuff off, not putting it on a human being.
Man. When I think of acid, I think of cement.
Yeah, literally, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of my dad right now. He's a mason, so I'm like, that's what my dad uses to clean the brick is
right.
acid. And he's always told me, Liz, when I'm cleaning the brick, do not touch that. That will take your skin right off. And that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, not too long ago, a mother did it to her son.
Yep.
Burned the little boy hand because he stole something. You see a mother or father would beat the child. Again, these are awarenesses we have to. It's not okay. It's not okay to think that your wife is your property. Go ahead.
Seriously, it's not okay. So, like you were saying, all these issues are centered around mindset. They are centered around the way we think, the way we see things, perspectives, and sometimes environmental factors, educational factors, and a lot more, and access to justice, like DJ Fanny said, a federal school here. You see, rural Liberia is a very kind of different place in that we are all guided by the same law, the Constitution, but they have their customs and traditions there too. And some of them are even they are in contradiction to our law. For example, you will have them bargaining, you will have them settling, issues like rape as a family matter. You understand? So someone living in that space will say, "Oh, for us here, we know how we do our thing, my wife and our thing. Nobody's supposed to talk Isa. That our family matter. We do our thing. We were talking right here." And one or two people look at these examples, they look at precedent incidents, and they follow the same blueprint. The case of Kopo Siawe for the one from Kample, Nimakande, has not been on the screens. around Liberia have been things that have been going on daily. Women's rights have been violated. And the watchdogs are sometimes quiet because sometimes they themselves have bones in their mouth. Yeah. Some of those we even expect to speak to these issues, there are even people that violate. That go against. Women's rights too. So people who should be speaking against it, they are like people that have interest in the outcome of it. So that's how bad it is. Campley is a bit distant, and especially the part of Campley where they live, La BFP. If you ask people in that environment, they will tell you from there to the nearby police station, it's a very, very far distance. It's a very, very far distance. So usually cases that are not even to be settled within a time limit, you will see them settling it there. Like I spoke of rape and a lot more. So access to justice have been one factor. Another factor, like I said, is about perspective, the way people see things. In rural Liberia, people just live to see another day. And seeing living in that kind of condition gives you a serious limitation. It takes courage. It takes real courage. I don't even call it courage to look at someone you call your spouse, someone you love, someone you bore children by. You don't even have to have children by them. But let's just look at how acid look. Koposiawe and others around that point use acid to tap because that's their normal type of hustling around that point. They have rubbers, they tap around it. They know how acid makes rubber looks like, how it even kill organic components. And he go and place it not just on somebody's hand, but at that particular point. So it just shows that's insane. That's just how I see it. It sounds, very, very funny. If someone tells you that a 41-year-old grown man look at his wife and then just put acid water our private part, more than just going to jail, he need mental attention.
Yes.
And also, he will kill someone in the prison too. These are all victims, if not victims, but they were all child soldiers around here. And then when they left, some of them returned back to their villages, living with same mindset. So now you even see them around the evening hours singing old Charles Taylor song. We ready, that kind of song. I've been to rural Liberia, I know how things look like. And you also now even see some of them pray for words, see like we are here, we are losing every day. How I wish this would happen, we will deal with some people. And that man,
no,
who is here to change that kind of mindset, is more than a threat to that community. So it is now time that we engage our community with access to justice program. There are people in rural Liberia believe that the law, only rich men can face the law. So that's one reason they don't carry complaint, because they get a mindset that have a lawyer, it will require a lot of money. And that's very true. Only a few of them will understand that there is someone in the court called a public defender who is there to talk for those who don't have money to hire a lawyer. And on the other hand, public defenders too, they are not accessible. That's just the issue of access to justice I speak about. It is now time that people come to the community and start to communicate some of those race issues to the people in their local vernacular. So now speak to him in Gio, speak to him in Mano. Tell him, say, the law say you are not to do this. You are not to do this. You do this, you will go to jail, but so and so, yes. But instead, all is done around Monrovia. And for them to use the national radio station to provide awareness on some of these programs, when civil society group try to do it, they charge them high money. They tell you got to pay this. And sometimes they don't have the money to sustain the program. Right. Program. You will see people calling from Maryland to interact, saying, oh, yes, I like it. From this drama, I was able to learn this. Going forward, I will not do this again. But the station will say, once you are not paying this, you can sustain the program you have with that. So it is about going to the people. Sometimes ignorance is just the worst enemy that I see. People say in a right mind will become logical establishment I have. I won't do that to anybody. Yeah, no, I can do that to anybody. But Cooper needs some mental check, including all those who fought against women.
No, I have a question also about that. Why, as an individual, I want to come to Liberia. That is where my spouse is from. I want to visit. But as an individual that's in America, why would I want to come and visit there if there's crimes, all this crimes? What if I go there and all of a sudden I'm the victim? That's scary for any individual. And I'm saying, even if you were to come to America, don't get us wrong, there's a lot of crime here too. A lot of crime. There's sex trafficking, drugs, rape, so much stuff that I could go on about. But why, as an individual, should I come and visit Liberia when all these crimes are happening? That puts me in a very dangerous situation, because what if I'm walking down the road in Nimba County and Mr. Cooper is out and he sees me and says, you know what? I don't like you. You're my victim today. What can I do? I have no choice in that situation. I'm the victim.
You know, the question you asked, which is good, like what can I do? Because the truth here is things happen everywhere, as you just said. You know, even we just saw what his name is, it Tyler, Nico, or whatever, just happened to a Black young man getting beaten to death, you know, by the police. So being in the United States and just seeing how racism and other things can just have a human being treated like a animal or worse than an animal, you know, I understand. But the difference with the United States and here, you know, as far as I'm concerned, people are just calling me. Yes, sorry, guys. In America, when you commit a crime, like the officer that did that hideous, inhumane crime to the late George Floyd, people fought around the world, not only in America, around the entire world, for America to show some justice.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And as much as it was difficult for them to do, because we all know that convicting a police is a big deal. You know, the law doesn't take that lightly at all. But the law won. You know, the law won. The law won. I prevailed. You know, the law won. So I'm saying this to say that at least there is an option here. You know, the option is you have a law that you can fight. You know, you have a system that you can say, I will not be treated like crap. I will say something and change will happen if I continue to say it. But in Africa, nothing comes out of it. You can go and take a vacation, somebody will harm you, and then what comes out of it? Not a damn thing. You know? So where is the protection for the citizens? Where is the security? Where is the trust? We don't have that. So I understand you when you're asking about safety, you know, because if I go over there, something happens to me, and you ain't got lawmakers on it, you don't have a court system that's ready to work on it, then you are just a lost cause.
Yep.
You know? So the system, our leaders are so terrible that everything just look, I always say, like mediocre, you know? They just make everything look so old, you know, so unsafe, and they don't really care about it. That's a problem. That's a problem.
I agree. And it's
yeah.
individuals that are wanting to come and tour Liberia and visit, because Liberia, don't get me wrong, it is absolutely beautiful, has many positive things and so much history behind it. But how am I going to put myself in a situation that, who knows if I'll come back to America? Nobody knows that. And that's for anywhere you travel in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. But there's no laws. There's nobody there to be like, you know what, Lizzie, you're driving too fast down the road. Here's a ticket. You cannot do 100 miles per hour in the city of Monrovia. No, you cannot. That's highly illegal. So I think there needs to be some officials that step in and say enough is enough. I do agree with that.
Yeah. And definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and you are right. You see, like you said, it is a concern, you know, and that's the scary part of it. Because for some of you now who have relatives from Liberia and who love Liberia, and have some, things running in Liberia. I like to come home, like to come and see stuff. I mean, it creates a kind of, bad alarm that will scare you from coming. But here is one thing too that would sound funny that I would like to say. Like I said, any name in Liberia, anything that is associated with America in Liberia is a big deal. Let me say this very clear. If you are heard of people saying Decemberies, I think you are heard of Decemberies in Liberia before. Usually people who return around December, they are big deal. Where even if a male see one, maybe at an entertainment site, say hello, nice video, you give him a postcard, you feel that he has already achieved. Likewise for a female too. So coming to Liberia, actually there are some safety for we are more unsafe in our own home than those of different countries. That's one thing I see. The U.S. embassy is very strong and proactive here. In fact, most of our crimes that have been traced here, we have received alerts from the U.S. embassy. They give us security alert regularly, and for anyone from America coming here, definitely there are strong safety measures put in place. But the safety measure implies that you're going to come play. For example, you said you'll be afraid of Copper Sierra. The moment Copper Sierra see you, the first thing now, Copper Sierra want to network. Copper Sierra want to know what perhaps you are like why. He own a racism is like he with business show,
right,
and he saw you riding bike to fly up in the air. He want to ask you questions like, well, how you manage to fly back, plane, things like that. He want to give you gifts. So that's the thing, really. They are more good to strangers than their own people. And you know why they are bad to their own people? They believe that I can harm this person. I mean, nothing will happen. They don't have the financial strength to take me anywhere. They are of lower class. But once they hear that you are from America, they understand, hey, they are people of pro bono. They don't joke with anything because you touch them. And mind you, we have presidents here. We have people who robbed Germans and Americans here. And that case, they are still beyond bars. No matter the strong lawyers they have, they are still there now. Some of them have spent 20, 30 years, and they are still, and they're going to be there for a long time. Why? Because those international lawyers representing their client from America and other places, and you don't take them for safely, is something very different here. I'm not guaranteeing 100% that harm can happen, things can happen, and just how life happens. But to some extent, foreigners are more safe in my country, Liberia, than ordinary Liberians. My friend can look at me, my age, and just blow me. But for white, not just white, but remember your accent look different. He feel like he wants something from you. That's one thing. He feel that you are rich, you have more, and then no one should take it for a rap.
Right.
That's just the whole truth. And we are seeing it time we'll add numbers, so that shouldn't scare you from coming Liberia, Lizzie.
Right. But I'm glad you said that, because I always tell Lizzie, when you get there, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
That's the truth.
Right. Because back
the
home,
reception will be high.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, let me put this out there right now. Let me put this out there. I'm not, everybody says, oh, you're white, you're rich. I'm not rich.
Yeah. What?
I get, that's but that's just a mentality we have back home, right? That and I really feel that a lot of it has to just do with the slavery, I mean, years and years of being oppressed and seeing one race on everything powerful, right? The white race has been on everything powerful, everything beautiful, everything considered amazing has to be by the white race. So I feel like, in a way, it was just forced upon humanity to see the white race like above everybody, So automatically in Africa, when you see you don't even know that white person can be right next to you, don't have no money, but automatically they are rich, Now until you come to America, then you get to realize that that's just not the way it is, and also you get to realize not all white people are racist, so you get to learn a lot of things in this country. And I'm totally on board with that. When you go to Africa, you go to Liberia, you will love it. You will have the best of time. I keep telling you, you will love it.
And that's one thing that I want everybody to know is that I might be this color, but guess what? That doesn't mean that I don't like you because you're caramel, you're brown, you're black. It doesn't matter because you know what? You're human, you're human, you're
And
human,
that's
you're
it.
human. We're all the same, and not everybody's gonna think the same way that I think, and that is totally okay. But I want everybody to know, guess what? I want Africa in a whole to be up there with America because you know what? There's no reason that it shouldn't. There's no reason at all.
Yeah, I'm 100% on that. It's like no reason at all. And hopefully, you know, work in progress, having shows like this, raising that awareness, having that conversation. You know, I see change. I see what you call it, our vice president in the United States giving a speech about, you know, how Congress need to sign the George Floyd
Definitely.
bill so we can get this racism under control on some level, you know, hold police accountable, give them something that will put some level of resistance in them, like stop killing black people, you know, stop killing black men, stop seeing black men like they're animals, like what the hell. So I feel like the awareness is coming. We will never stop talking about it, you know, we'll never stop raising that awareness. um at the end of the day, I do see change because from where we started to where we are now,
It's a
amazing.
huge change.
Or
Huge.
huge, or huge. So we just got to keep speaking out. And I learned it's not but just one race. Black people don't have to only support black people. You know, white people don't have no. For the Me Too movement to be successful, for racism to end, it will take all
Yeah.
race to end
Yes.
racism.
Yes, and you get it right. You get it right, and that's my point too. And sometimes black, we are even more racist. That's sometimes that's what I experience. For example, now what I see for America is that almost like good number of the people living in America are black people. But what I don't understand is that if you look in the prison, you find 50% black or 60% black. So are they there because they are black or because they made bad decisions? So
I
that's
would
something that I
love
don't
to know that.
understand. Yeah, yeah, that's something I don't understand about the black population too. So in as much we are fighting for our dignity, but it is time to that we put some some value to ourselves. I'm aware of a lot of Liberians that left from here, went to America, majority of whom are back on the basis of being into crimes. Nothing
Mhm.
different.
Yeah,
Going against federal laws,
I agree.
going
I,
against their
I
parole, things like that.
right, right. I agree with you on that. You know, I learned over time that especially places like the United States, I learned that when you see a place where a lot of black people in jail, a lot of black people go to jail. First of all, in Oregon, when you look at the prison system, we got a lot of other nationalities than black people. You know, black nationality. We got more Africans in Oregon. They're full of trouble. You see them. So the Liberians, the Ethiopians, you know, they like to go to jail. So like, especially our young Liberians. So for me, I feel like the system in the United States is set up in a way that they make it will always be like, sometimes too it can be just stereotype because you can see a state that got more white people in jail, but it will make it seem that there are more black people because that's what they want to put out there. They don't want to push the goodness of the black race. So you in Liberia,
Oh,
I would
that's
say
good to
this to
know.
you: when you see a lot of African Americans, it's oh they're going to jail, they're going to sometimes they can go to jail for little things. Let me tell you what I saw with my own two eyeballs. Manhood College. I got up class. I'm tired. I'm sitting at the max stop, waiting for the max. Two kids, one white, one black. They both got a backpack. And all I see is the police holding the black kid, right? The police holding the black kid, pulling the black kid to go in the police car. And the white kid is telling the police, like, literally the boy open the bag to pull the drugs out, to let the police know that he the one selling the drugs. And the police, you know what the police told him? Keep quiet and go home. And the police shoved the black kid into the car right in front of me. and that really, really did something to me. I was like, wow, can you imagine how many little innocent Black kids that they would just put behind bars? And sometimes when you go behind bars, your whole life change. You
Yes.
know, the prison can change your whole life. I have seen some people that just went for just something little, and they come out, they got PhD in criminal behaviors. So I feel like we are living in a system that does kind of give a very high sentencing to Black people. And then number two, something you said is true. I believe that we also need to teach our kids how to have respect for authority. You
Yes.
know, I've seen a lot of times, our kids, the police will put in, they start to yell, they start to cuss, they start to instigate. It doesn't really count for anybody to get shot, but I'm just saying that's something we need to do is kind of talk to our children that, we got to respect authority, certain things that, maybe raise more awareness on how to carry themselves when police pull them over. I don't know, but just the same way we say the police need to learn more about how to have empathy with the Black race. You know, they don't have empathy. They treat the Black children as if we are not human beings, they are not kids. So I feel like in America, a lot of reasons contribute to why a lot of Black people are in prison. Most of it has to do with the stereotyping and just the high the high, what you call it, the high time they gave to the Black people when they commit such little crimes. For example, let me give you an example. In Oregon, they passed a law which is so bad to make drug legal. Now you can have a certain amount. Before, the amount used to be small. Now you can have more than that. You know, so they made it so comfortable for people to do drugs. So we got a lot of people here now doing more drugs than ever. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
yeah, oh yes. In Oregon, they made it very
Wow, wow,
comfortable.
wow.
People, I mean, even in the hospitals and all. I know this. In nursing homes, you see people shooting at meth and stuff like that. Because they made it so comfortable.
DJ Finance, do you mind if I say the name that allowed that? So our governor decided to say that it's okay to have drugs a certain amount on the streets, and now Kate Brown is allowing meth pipes for free, heroin needles. That is disgusting. As a human being, and any human being in the world should never, ever, ever. No. That's illegal. What the heck is going on with our government? And cops now, I know personally, Multnomah County, that's Portland, Oregon, Gresham area. This is like terrible to me. And I'm like, oh my God. A cop has to be shot at 4 times before a cop can shoot at the person. I don't agree with that. I don't. I believe that if somebody's shooting at me and harming my life, and I am an officer and I'm protecting me and my crew, guess what? I'm going to protect myself and my crew. I'm not going to let you shoot at me 4 times. No.
I mean, is it because they have what life jacket? I don't know.
But bulletproof. In that metal little chest thing that they wear, that still, it doesn't penetrate through them because it's got that metal there to protect, but it still hurts them as an officer. Absolutely, it hurts. It'd be like if I was to punch somebody in the chest, that it's going to hurt. It's going to. So I think that the officers need more protection. I don't think that guns need to go to the certain extent that they're using their guns, because guess what? There's pellet guns. There is gas that they can use. There's that baton thing. Like, there's so many other things that they can use to stop that individual. Now, if that individual has a gun and is trying to harm everybody else, you have to take that precaution and make them stop.
Right. I genuinely believe that. I just feel like in some way the conversation is only going towards the favor of the cops. When we got not I wouldn't say a whole lot, because we have too many good cops for us to say a lot of cops are bad. You know, when you really think about it, just few. I mean, I've been pulled over few times, and I've seen some really nice cops.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
am
pulling
I.
you over. Right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the bad ones, and that's why I love the campaign. I think I heard police were starting like the good cops need to speak out
Yep.
so they
Good
can,
cop, bad cop.
exactly, you know, because you have to speak out. Because if you're not saying anything, then you are encouraging it to happen. So I just feel like the conversation needs to be also police need to be careful. Like, okay, we shoot the police 4 times before the police can shoot back. That's bad. Okay, what can the police not also do to us? What is our right? I feel like
Yes.
we lean more towards the police right. I get it, but what right do I have if the police pull me over right now and just say, "Hey, hands up"? You know, da, 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 da. I mean, what do I say? What do I do? So it's just a conversation that we must keep having, like we're doing right now. You know, it's not we. And I love what you just said, because we cannot not protect the police. Like the police too important to us
Yeah.
for us not to keep them safe, and that's just the fact.
And
You
don't get
know,
me wrong, I like cops, but then I have that stereotypical of, guess what? You're a jerk. You're gonna give me a ticket.
right.
You're gonna arrest me. That's just mindset as a human being. We're like, no.
Right.
But in the end, in all reality, guess what? That cop is protecting me and my family.
Yes. Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I'm like, good cop, bad cop. But at the same time, do I believe that a cop should be shot at 4 times? No, I do not. Absolutely.
I don't think any human being should be shot at 4 times.
No.
It's like
No.
No.
I think
That's
that
not cool.
there's other precautions that can be taken in place instead of shooting. Now, do I think if Johnny has a gun to his whole family, keeping them hostage, do I think that there should be something happen? Absolutely. You know what? Shoot a smoke bomb in their house. Make that guy drop to the ground, arrest him, take him into custody. Absolutely. That's a good choice instead of, guess what? I see him standing in front of the window. I'm going to shoot him. And guess what? Now his kids and his whole family have seen him get shot and die. I do not agree with that at all. At all.
That's true. Jitumu, you got anything to share?
Yeah. Actually, the conversation is a good one, and I'm glad that we are having a balanced conversation, because we have someone from another race, and I was here too. We are from the Liberia side, for the brown skin color, but it's a conversation worth sharing, and I like how fact-based the conversation is. Like, people are providing examples, pointing out the incident, and it's very good to know what's happening in Oregon there. And what you spoke of about the prison issue, that's a new thing I've learned. And it's very bad. It's very bad that way. Because I think the last place that racism or any form of segregation should ever take place should be in the justice system. That's an era of fair trial. You don't have to judge someone because maybe they belongs to one race that is full of crime. Yes, I agree. Like for Liberia, yeah, it happened. We have that stereotype where people say, yeah, you have this type of blood, you got the other tribe type of blood, you are this, you are that. And mind you, on certain situations, at certain police stations, you carry certain group of people there, they don't protect their marijuana right. They don't give them a chance to explain. They say, my man, you are already dead. I've seen a police officer jail someone put into a cell without preparing charge sheet. But a friend of mine who is very active too, but then just came out, just came from, I think, outside, went for a study. When he came back, he said, remember, do you know that there's one group here called the Police Professional Standard Division? I don't know if you have it there, but like, you have the Police Professional Standard Division here. Not many people know about them. They have their hotline number. You report police to them, they are like, here for police. If a policeman did something to you, maybe that was not right, maybe he didn't guarantee certain, he didn't exercise certain restraint, or maybe he did something wrong to you, and you didn't feel happy doing either your arrest or certain right was just violated. You can call that hotline number and report them. And some of them who are very smart, they notice at the moment they come around your place, you want to see their number. They have certain number ready on a share here in Liberia. They try to be critical. If you ask them a few questions like, I want to know your name, things like that, they will sit there, they will say, hi. we get somebody around, we get one no more man, things like that. That's the name we call. But it's really bad for a society to hide behind the dress of serving justice and to step on the right of another person.
Right.
It's really something bad. It was for Ye in Campley. Tomorrow, it may be for Yasa in Pong.
Yes.
It may be for Dawasu in Lofa. It may be for any other person. It is now time that we put stop to sexual and gender-based violence and any form of violence against humanity. Because mind you, I don't know, DJ Finance, if you follow the case recently, a lady from Liberia squeezed her husband private part till he died in Maryland.
And you know
Just
what?
the
I'm
any
gonna
part
say
of-
something about
Yeah.
that because you know what? I know
Just
exactly
the
what
any
you're
part of
talking
this year, I will check for that news. It was in the local daily from Africa. I will send you the link. It was a very painful story and see what happened. Some of those we call women rights advocates, I mean the very young one, I'm not talking about the bigger ones, they were on Facebook taking it to be fun. Some of them taking it to be jokes, saying how the guy is lazy. Some of them was like, squeeze. It's funny how we hype serious things in, we on unnecessary things in the country and then just downplay the real issues.
Yeah.
People play with that, and
But
up to now, we are yet to know what's happening, whether she went to jail or not. But I'm not really too sure she will go to jail for a long time. That would just be something that will have
earlier,
something.
but like you said earlier, education, education. Something you said that when the people then, like when the police then know that you're looking at their badge, they start to hide because then they know now that you're smart, you're aware of what your right is. So that's an example for us to understand the power of knowledge, the power to really know your rights. So if we start knowing our rights, they will start working. They will have no choice because now we are demanding for them to do the right thing. So I think what you just said is a clear example of how much we need to educate ourselves. Our leaders are not doing it. They're not going to put the money it will take to bring a lot of radio stations, televisions, or create broadcasting, entities, making sure that the media is a lot in Liberia, making sure that information is being given to the people. That's the job of the government. So the government must make sure the people got information. Liberians need to know, okay, I want to go to school. Where can I go apply for scholarship? Liberians need to know that. Liberians need to know that, you know what? I'm broke. I don't have no money. Where can I go apply for jobs? How come they don't have those type of information? Liberians need to know that, you know what? I need to know how far the government is by just going on the website and finding out where we are, what we are. But we don't have those information. We're not giving nothing to the people. We're leaving them with little to nothing at all. And then we pouring a lot of demands on them. Y'all got to be this, y'all got to do this, y'all got to do this, but you, the government, you're not doing your job as well. So I just feel that these things will continue to happen in Liberia if we keep picking bad leaders. That's really what it's all about, the people that we are picking, and the fact that we need to know our rights. You have a right. Like if you vote for a lawmaker who is supposed to be there for 9 years, a senator, you have a right. If that senator is not doing his or her job, they don't have to be there for 9 years. You can petition them. You can stand up, and that's some awareness we need to raise. We should not allow these criminals to stay there for their full term when we have the right to remove them. So again, we need to know our rights and we need to stand up for what we believe is the right thing to do.
I think exactly what you and Jutun said. It comes down to education. And guess what? The government, that's education. They need to hire the people to educate these people that are doing criminal activities. Because as a medical assistant, guess what? Your main artery as a man goes to your penis. That you close your hand and hold it on there. Guess what? Your main artery goes to your heart. You will die. So those are the situations. Let's, as human beings, educate our kids. Educate. There needs to be health in school. There needs to be science. There needs to be math, English, social studies. those are things that we need to educate our youth, because guess what? As a youth, not growing up and knowing, oh, guess what? If I squeeze a man's penis, it can kill them. I'll admit this, I didn't know that till I went to med school. I did not know any of that information. So as an adult, guess what? When my kids are old enough to know the human body, yes, I will let them know. As a mother, I tell my children, do not kick your brother or sister or any human being in their genital area. That can make them drop like that. As a woman, do not go and hit somebody in their abdomen. You can drop somebody instantly. The head is as an organ. I know if I get in an argument with somebody and from the collarbone up to the top of my head, if I hit somebody there, that's a measure 11 effect. Guess what? I'm going to prison. There's no questions asked. You are getting in trouble.
Right.
So I think those are things that need to be brought up, not just in America, but in worldwide. Yeah. I think there needs to be communication, and that's what it all comes down to. The number one key is communication. People need to communicate
you are right.
about what's going on.
You are really right. DJ Founder says about the need for having, communication entities. Yeah, most especially communication entities across Liberia. If one district can have a lawmaker who will say, this year, because they have the power to do that here in Liberia, our budget process starts very, very early, and a lawmaker can file a petition in Parliament about the need that my community like this, my community like this. But majority of them will have they are only there to sign bogus contracts, get kickbacks. They are not very intentional. Just what you said, just what DJ Founder said, you will put someone into 11 Senate to the House of Parliament. They will put it into various committee rooms, committees on education, committees on this, committees on waste and finance. But it will frustrate you that some of those who are appointed to some of those committees that are there to work on serious issues, they have zero idea. Then, for example, you put someone in a committee of information, they understand nothing about media. And then information minister, let's say there's something wrong, or let's say he mismanaged certain budget stuff, things like that. And then they will summon them to Parliament. It can be so sad. The minister of finance doing Ellington used to do it for a joke. One Kafun used to do it to Parliament. He will be laughing. They will invite him to Parliament. Tell him say we have problems, this, that. We get understand the economy, this, that. He will carry a whole graph for them. He will carry a flip chart, carry a marker. He will be drawing a whole econometric graph there for them, because he know majority of them there have zero knowledge by then to what he was talking about. He will say there was a rapid decrease in demand at this point. At this point, if you do the math, this, that, he just leave them in dilemma. And if you witness the video, you will feel sad. Only 1 or 2 persons you will see that asking questions, the rest zero. So it is not time that we bring our best minds to the table, because it is only with them we can get the need, because they will be there advocating for basic necessities. They will be talking about healthcare, talking about building schools, talking about education, talking about building roads. But the rest of the other people, they are only there to get their, personally, what they can get. Sign so and so concession agreement and make sure that nothing be in that agreement to positively impact their community, but let that mining agency or let that logging agency just be able to give them their regular kickback at the end of the month. We see it here on our daily. But yet and say we lack scholarships to go to school. Just imagine that. And those concessions are huge concessions to the extent where they don't only do surface mining, but they do underground mining there. And guess what? The underground mines have contaminated our nearby streams and rivers, where some of our people get water from, not only to bath, but to also drink. And now they are raised, sometimes fish die. And even those horses not far from mining site, because at the mining site they do blasting. You just enter the town to see all of horse crack, because blasting time there will be a heavy shake of the ground. Nothing will be given to that affected community. You will see children passing from where Grand Basso come and pass Nima, come and pass Bon, Code Nima, Acido Meta, get Iron O, come and pass that. The affected community, you won't see anything change, because the lawmakers from there are the one causing their silence causing this kind of problem. So more awareness needs to be done, and it's time that we embrace conversation on these things. I'm very happy for the show, and we are looking forward to seeing more of this kind of thoughts.
Oh my God. I love the show today. I love every topic. Unfortunately, Isaac couldn't come on, but he will come on the next one. But guys, this is why Pepper Chair is so needed. Like, this is what we should be talking about in our community. These are the type of awarenesses we should be bringing out here. And I learned so much, and I can't wait for the next show. So I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoy the topics. What do you guys think about the show today?
I think that every single one of us came with a amazing talk. We did it. We made it fun. We made it sassy. We made it sexy. We talked about everything. And I think that I'm hoping, and I know all of us as a team are hoping, that you guys all got wonderful and great information from Pepper Chair. I think that you guys should stay tuned because we're coming with even more. And all of us want to see a change. And I know that if we all can work together, all of you guys can work together too that are watching.
Definitely, if we all can work together, then we will see the change. Yeah, I saw a big energy. I love the coordination. I love what I saw, especially information. I mean, people citing references. It happened in Oregon. It happened this. It happened this. That's just something exciting about the show. And it's very easy to imagine that the audience are very happy right now where they are with the kind of information people are providing, evidence-based information. Yeah.
Right. Me too. I'm happy, And guys, don't forget we are on every second Thursdays and every fourth Thursdays, and we are also on every third Thursday. So we on 3 days a week. We'll be on the platform. We'll also be on cable 90.7 FM live here in Portland, Oregon. So this show is something, we just want our people to be informed, but also be entertained, So thanks to all of you guys for joining us here at Pep Talk Table. You hear me? Thanks for you guys joining us right here on Pepper Chair. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. Guys, please do not forget to tune in next Thursday. Don't forget.
Absolutely. I just want to say also, thank you, DJ Finest. Thank you, Joe-Tone, also, and Isaac for coming on Pepper Chair and making this happen. I appreciate you guys allowing me to come and talk as an individual also. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't forget, keep following DJ Finest, the blogger Isaac, and Joe-Tone, and Lizzie
International.
Yeah, shout out to you, DJ Finance. Thanks to the entire family. I got you. Thanks to the management of Cable FM. We appreciate the time. And, it's always a conversation once we talk about what matters. And it's always good to be on such a unique platform. Thanks so kindly. And we're looking forward to seeing you another time.
All right, guys. Bye.